Most people believe the Bible clearly explains how the world will end one day, but very few people stop to ask whether they truly understand what it is saying. What if the Bible never predicted destruction the way movies and media show it? What if the end of the world was never about fire falling from the sky? What if it was always about truth being revealed to humanity? This is not a modern theory or internet speculation. This message has been written for thousands of years, hidden in plain sight inside Scripture, and almost no one is taught how to read it correctly. The Bible is one of the most powerful and misunderstood books in human history. Many people approach it looking for fear, punishment, and disaster. Others read it expecting dramatic events and sudden endings. But the Bible was never written to scare humanity into obedience. It was written to awaken humanity to wisdom and responsibility. Biblical prophecies were not meant to predict dates or disasters. They were warnings designed to change human behavior. Warnings exist to guide people, not to terrify them. So what does the Bible really say about the end of the world? To understand this, we must first unlearn what we were taught. The book of Revelation is often described as the most terrifying book in the Bible. But the word revelation actually means to reveal, not to destroy. It is not a story about the planet being wiped out. It is a story about truth being exposed. The four horsemen are not literal beings riding through the sky. They are symbolic representations of human behavior and choices. Conquest represents uncontrolled desire and greed for power. War represents division created by fear and misunderstanding. Famine represents imbalance caused by exploitation and injustice. Death represents the natural consequence of these actions. Every generation experiences these forces in different forms. That is why the message of Revelation repeats throughout history. Jesus warned that the end would not begin with explosions or fire. He said it would begin with deception and confusion. People would believe lies while thinking they were righteous. Truth would become rare, even though information would be everywhere. Nations would rise and fall, not by God's hand alone, but by humanity's refusal to learn from wisdom. This is where most people completely misunderstand biblical prophecy. The Bible speaks to the human mind before it speaks about the world. The end times describe what happens when moral awareness collapses, when truth becomes opinion and opinion becomes law, when faith becomes performance instead of inner conviction. The beast described in Revelation is not a monster with horns. It represents systems of control built on fear and obedience. The mark is not merely a physical symbol placed on the body. It represents loyalty of the mind and surrender of conscience. The Bible warns that humanity will choose comfort over truth, security over freedom, control over faith. And when that happens, something far worse than destruction occurs. A world does not end, a conscience ends. That is the true apocalypse described in Scripture. Look closely at the world we live in today. Information is everywhere, yet understanding is disappearing. Faith is often used as a weapon instead of guidance. Fear is used as a tool instead of wisdom.
The Bible predicted this condition long ago, not to frighten humanity, but to prepare it. The end of the world is not a single moment in time. It is a gradual process shaped by human choices. Every generation decides whether the cycle continues or whether it finally ends. The Bible never promised the destruction of the world. It promised the revelation of truth. And truth often feels like an ending before it feels like freedom. If this message challenged what you believed about prophecy, then it has already done its job. The real question is not when the world will end. The real question is whether humanity will understand the warning.